In year 6, we decided on a differentiation strategy. We chose to offer very high quality cameras and drones that we had to offer an extremely high price to make up for the high production costs associated.
In year 7, we took out a loan of $21,000 to help keep up with our production costs. We believe that due to having a very differentiated product, we will eventually gain market share. The loan we took out did negatively affect our earnings per share and return on equity. However, this was expected. At the end of year 7, we realized that this strategy was not working in our favor, as our product did not sell due to there being many competitors offering similar PQ-rated quality products for much lower prices. We only gained the market share of 1.2%, which was incredibly alarming, forcing us to really take a step back and re-evaluate our strategy with how we were going to proceed this future. We decided to change our strategy completely and pursue cost focus. Our aim over the next 3 years was to focus on gaining market share. We would achieve this through still having a unique product offering to gain competitive advantage over our competitors. However, we needed to reduce our production costs to be able to offer a much competitive price point. One way we chose to reduce production costs was to reduce the number of models for both the camera and the drone from 3 models to just 1 for each product. This choice would allow us to put all of our remaining production costs into producing the very best quality camera and drone available on the market relative to price. In year 8, due to our changing strategy, we succeeded in gaining a relative amount of market share of the first time, which was 8.3%. We were able to pay back the $21,000 loan that we owed and were also awarded the Leapfrog Award due to having the highest improvement in our overall score. Prior to year 9, we failed to recognize that every product design feature carried a different cost, but the cost did not necessarily have a positive correlation to the customer's perceived value of the overall product. With this in mind, we decided that it was not necessary to offer customers the very highest quality in all of the possible design features. We chose to reduce the quality of certain costly features that did not largely increase the customer's perceived value of our products. Through this decision, we were able to maintain our relatively high PQ rating for 5.3 and achieve our objective of significantly reducing our production costs to be able to offer a much lower price and so thus gain market share.
In year 10, we invested money to increase our corporate social responsibility and citizenship. In year 11, won the runner-up award for corporate social responsibility. Due to this, we received an extra 4 bonus points.
In year 11, we tried to rectify our mistakes and invested money to buy assembly facilities to avoid further shortages of stock due to increased demand. Due to this year we were awarded another 5 bonus points and are continuing to perform well. Overall, Harry Potter Boom ended up the way it did in year 11 through a lot of evaluating and learning after analyzing our results at the end of every year. Although we did make mistakes, we always try to understand what affected the results we received, and when they were negative, we focused on finding all possible solutions to direct the company in a positive direction.
3 biggest mistakes were, firstly, not having enough stock starting in year 7 to meet the demand. We missed out on 19 customers being able to purchase our camera in year 10 due to a stockout. Through year 7 to 10, we missed out on an average of 14 customers a year, missing out on purchasing our drone. Due to being unable to meet the market demand, we lost a lot of market share, ultimately affecting the speed at which our return on equity increased. Another last mistake we made was choosing to pursue 2 extremely differentiated products that have very high quality product design feature and high production costs. This was a large setback for us starting in year 6, where we only gained 1.2% of market share due to selling a very small amount of camera and drone, as our set price was so much more expensive in comparison to our competitor. After realizing the prices of and product design, choosing would not to do well in the long run, changing our strategy was the best thing we could have done. However, due to an initial mistake, we needed to play catch up as many factors including our market share, return on equity, and earning per share were heavily affected. Last mistake which heavily affected our overall ranking in global simulation was that we chose to take our $21,000 loan in year 7 to invest into paying for the production cost of our camera and drone, which we have hardly any demand for, upgrade our drone and camera while offering a low cost to the market in order to gain market share. This method allowed us to gain market share and differentiate from our competitor, but we did not gain anything on return on equity but also made a loss. This created a lump sum of loan that we had to pay back the next year, as if we did not, the bank would charge a higher interest due to bad credit rating. Year 9 and 10 were our best year because we were able to develop and fix our production costs to a much lower price while still maintaining an above average PQ rating. This was due to our change in focus to a cost-focused strategy, as initially we struggled to find demand for our extremely high-priced camera and drone that were priced more than double the cost of the next most expensive competitor. This allowed us to still offer high-quality drone and camera to the market but at much more competitive prices than in prior year. Our good value for money product now offer a competitive advantage over our competitor, and so much better, allowing us to finally improve on all our investor expectations and increase our return on equity and market share. Adjustments helped us to climb up in the industry scoreboard. During year 9 and 10, we also bought back a portion of our share to increase our earning per share as they were lower than the investor expectation. We also invested our money into the renewable energy program and on improving working conditions and monitoring our supply code of conduct. For this initiative, we were awarded the runner-up award for the corporate social responsibility for year 11. This helped us gain higher image rating, therefore a higher perceived value from the customer in the industry. Year 9 and 10 were our best 2 years as we were able to really improve our earning per share and return on equity. This improvement correlated with us being able to improve on our ranking and our overall game-to-date score.
Overall, we feel our team worked together really well. Every one of our team members attended meetings with a positive attitude and an openness to hearing the opinions of others. We spent time outside the classroom each week, debating and discussing our thoughts on how we should approach each financial year with our decisions. Due to getting more and more comfortable working together and understanding each other's ways of thinking, we got better at vocalizing the reasons behind our opinions. As we all come from different backgrounds, with diverse goals and thought processes, naturally, some controversial discussions arose. However, we moved forward and always came to agreed decisions by firstly discussing everyone's views and their justified reasons behind them. Initially, we made quite bad decisions. We kept putting money into a product that there was hardly any demand for. Our price and production costs was extremely high for both our camera and drone ranges in comparison to our competitors. This resulted in a really low market share of 1.2%. Although we changed our strategy in year 8, we still lost out on the first 2 years of gaining market share. If we could repeat the simulation again, we would be much more reactive to begin with recognizing when there was not demand to meet our supply. We would also be much more aware of the different factors causing production costs to be high and which product design features we should reduce that were costly but weren't having a dramatic impact on increasing our image rating. Each week, we would meet to discuss our opinions in order to come to unanimous decisions, which we would input into the simulation. We would always go over our previous industry scores and discuss how and what we could improve. We made sure that everybody's voice was heard and that we all understood and agreed on the reasoning behind our decisions. We would also always refer back to investors' expectations as a guide and try to understand ways to attempt to exceed them.
Hi, my name is Katie. I took part in decision making. I also made sure that we meet each week to make decisions before the deadline. I also tried to reason decisions that we were making to make sure that there was no groupthink phenomena going on. I also made sure that we all thought about results we would get out of the decisions that we were making.
Hi, I am Tony. I actively took part in the Globus decision making and was the one who led the team around the Globus to finalize the decision and use my knowledge to create a strategy that bring market share to the company while still remain a high return on equity.
Hello, my name is Alice. I've been very active in the group and I attended all the meetings and I also provided some very cool ideas. I always explain my opinions with supportive reasons and we discuss these opinions in the group together as a group. I also made sure that the final decision we made would always make everyone happy.
Hey guys, I'm Iris. During our Globus simulation, I feel like I actively took part in the role as mediator. I would question and challenge our team members' opinions so that everybody could hear and understand the reasoning behind an individual's ideas towards decision making. I feel as though this helped our team work together more harmoniously, as we were all able to reach an understanding and agreement when it came to making the final decisions at the end of each industry year. The reason I chose to act as mediator is that it comes naturally to me through work and social settings in everyday life. I also thought this new role was needed as our group members all came from diverse backgrounds, resulting in everybody having a different thought process. When we first started working on the simulation, our approach was to make our drones with a high performance and quality rating and a high price. Therefore, in year 7, we realized that our drones were not selling as much as we thought it would, and our earnings per share and return on equity plummeted. So we took a loan and tried to gain market share in year 7. We were able to gain market share in year 8 and also paid our loan back in year 8 itself. Looking at our year 8 results, our earnings per share and return on equity increased. We are doing much better than year 6 and year 7 in terms of stock price and image rating, and we also have increased our profit a lot. Our final approach is to make our drones production costs less with a high performance and quality rating. We have formulated 2 questions that we would like to ask our competitors. Firstly, how did our competitors gain a lot of market share while keeping their PQ ratings high? Secondly, was it hard for them to keep up with the investors' expectations in terms of earnings per share and return on equity as it was for us?